Good evening. I think it would probably be best that we start with recognitions, Mr. Santos.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And we're able to, let's set up and we'll do the recognitions first, then we'll come back to the regular board meeting.
Very good, very good.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're ready to begin. Once again, on behalf of the United ISD Board of Trustees and our Superintendent, Roberto J. Santos, we want to welcome everyone to the SAC Auditorium this evening for the board recognitions. We're going to begin, and once again, we'd like to say congratulations to everyone for being here tonight. We're truly grateful to have so many honorees this evening. Thank you.
And this evening, it is my distinct pleasure to begin with our Reading Fair winners. First of all, let's give a big round of applause and warm welcome to Santa Claus, who will be congratulating everybody this evening. We go all out, boys and girls. Merry Christmas to all. So we begin with our third annual UISD Reading Fair winners. Congratulations to the following second graders. In third place, from Colonel Santos Benavides Elementary, we have Alessandro Marquez. And his book was Dragons Love Tacos, and his proud principal, Dr. Mirta Villarreal. In second place, Melanie Medina from Prada Elementary, If You Give a Pig a Pancake, is the title of the book. And she is joined by her proud principal, Ms. Raquel Alvarado. And in first place, amongst our second graders, we have Deacon Zhang from Borchers Elementary. Curious George and the Pizza is the title of his book, and his proud principal, Mucia Flores. Congratulations again to all of our second graders. Well done, boys and girls. We look forward to next year. And now for our third grade winners. In third place, we did have a tie between two campuses, between Juarez Lincoln Elementary and Matias de Llano. From Juarez Lincoln, we have Gael Zamora from Mole Music. And he is joined by his proud principal, Bob Ortiz. And our other third place winner is Samuel Arredondo from Matias de Llano, Goosebumps. It came from beneath the sink. And he is joined by Mrs. Diana Carodi, his proud principal. Congratulations. And now in second place, Javier Cárdenas from Salinas Elementary. The Hitaway Kid is the title of the book. And he is joined by his proud principal, Mr. Abraham Rodriguez. And in first place, from Muller Elementary, Carolina Lerma, Naughty Norton is the title of her book. And she is joined by Ms. Myra Ramirez, proud principal from Muller Elementary. Congratulations to all of our third grade winners. Good job, thriving third graders. We'll see you next year. And now for our fabulous fourth grade winners. We begin with our third place winner, JD Navarro from Kennedy Zapata Elementary. Cam Jansen and the Mystery of the Stolen Corn Popper. She is joined by her proud principal, Ms. Thelma Martinez. And in second place, from Ruiz Elementary, we have Athena Martinez. Congratulations. In first place, we have Valeria Lozano from Borchers Elementary. Secrets According to Humphrey is the title of the book. And she's joined by her proud principal, Ms. Mucia Flores. These fourth graders, this serves as a preface for their Meet the Author, so we look forward to seeing their writings. For all students in fourth grade, that's their next contest they are eagerly awaiting. Principals are very excited about it. Congratulations, fabulous fourth graders and fabulous writers. We'll be looking at your writings soon. We now continue with our fifth grade winners. We begin with our third place, Kenai Guzman from Matias de Llano. Title of the book is Spiders. And I know proud principal is here, Ms. Diana Carodi. Congratulations, making their way. It's what happens when you have more than one winner. Congratulations. In second place, we honor Mariana Valadez from Perez Elementary, who is Amelia Earhart. And her proud principal is Salud Hernandez, joining her up on stage. Earhart. In first grade, Michael Caso is our first place fifth grade winner from Colonel Santos Benavides Elementary, Project Muffin, how we brought muffins back to Egg Rock. Dr. Mirta Villarreal, proud principal. Well done. Ready for sixth grade. And a big round of applause for all of our fifth grade winners and all of our Reading Fair winners this evening. Congratulations. Thank you, parents. Thank you, teachers, for an awesome job and for all your support. Yeah.
Our next honoree this evening will be conducted by our athletic director, Bobby Cruz.
Good evening, Mr. Santos, board members. Excuse my voice, I lost it earlier this week. I'm getting it back. Some would say that's a bad thing that I'm getting it back. It's with great pleasure that we recognize today Michael Caso, an 11-year-old from Colonel Santos Benavides Elementary. Michael came in first place at the USATF South Texas Association Junior Olympic Cross Country, which is comprised of teams from Austin all the way down to the Valley, which was held in Lockhart, Texas on November 19th. After that, Michael qualified for the national championships in Hoover, Alabama, and was the only representative from Laredo and the only representative from UISD. Congratulations, Michael Caso. OJ. Saw OJ Garza, but I don't see him anywhere. There he is. Good evening again. Tonight we recognize one of our own, a current teacher and former United High School athlete who was recently inducted to the St. Mary's University Hall of Fame. He was among 5 athletes inducted to this year's class for his achievements on the baseball field as a Division II national champion and all-star national player. Congratulations, Horacio O.J. Garza. OJ is currently a teacher at Muller Elementary, Principal Mayra Ramirez.
Letter D is the Bilingual Education Scholar Award. It will be done by our Director of Bilingual Education, Dr. Carmen Pompa.
Good evening, Mr. Santos, Board of Trustees, members of the audience, and parents. My name is Dr. Carmen Pompa, and I'm here very proudly to present the Bilingual Education Scholar Awards. This is our way to recognize students participating in our bilingual programs. These bilingual students are nominated because they have excelled academically in extracurricular activities and with our community as well. Every month, we select 3 students, one from elementary, one from middle school, and one from the high school level. We have over 16,000 students participating in the bilingual program, so this is quite an honor. I also want to tell you that representing the bilingual department with me tonight, I have Dr. Gila Martinez, Basi Vela, and Ms. Lupita Aguiar. So I will call in the students as they were nominated every month, and these are the winners. Mil gracias a nuestros padres por acompañarnos esta noche. For the month of September, I have Cesar Cavazos, 12th grader from United South High School. This is September. Jesus Salazar Puentes, 7th grader from United South Middle School. And Bevlin Macias, 5th grader from Arndt Elementary. Together with our scholars, we have our principals, assistant principals, counselors that could be here tonight, so we appreciate that. For the month of October, we have Jose Garcia Oberhuber, 12th grader from United High School, Naomi Valle, 7th grader from Lamar Bruni Vergara Middle School, and Jose Tello Jr., 5th grader from Bonnie Garcia Elementary. For November, we have Jesus Galaviz, 12th grader from LBJ High School, Samuel Caso, 7th grader for Trotman Middle School, and Katia Coronado, 4th grader from Malakoff Elementary. And finally, for the month of December, we have Evelyn Michelle Brambilia, 10th grader from Alexander High School, Jose Cruz, 6th grader from United Middle School, and Zoe Flores, 5th grader from Faskin Elementary. Queridos padres, sus hijos son nuestro orgullo porque ser bilingüe es magnífico. So now we're going to pose for a picture, una foto.
If we can have all of our Bilingual Education Scholar Award honorees, please line up for a group photo there. And Mr. Meyer will take our photo.
I didn't know about you.
There you go, Ms. Pompa. Qué bueno. Good, good. Thank you, honorees. You can go ahead and exit the stage, please, to this side. Let's give them a big round of applause. Letter E are honorees, middle school and high school teachers from our district. They're being recognized by the Rio Grande International Study Center for a water quality testing event that was held earlier this year. To announce is Mr. David Canales, Executive Director for Middle School Education.
Good evening, Mr. Santos, distinguished board members and committee guests. On behalf of the Rio Grande International Study Center, we have Trisha Vasquez, who is going to be awarding our teachers who participated in water quality testing. For over the 20 years, Rio Grande International Study Center, scientists have conducted monthly water quality testing at multiple sites along the Rio Grande. There are 8 designated testing sites located along the Laredo stretch of the river. The northernmost site is located off Mines Road, while the southernmost site is located directly on the Webb Zapata County line. The data collected at each of these sites is submitted to the federal and state authorities and is part of the Texas Clean Rivers Program database. Water quality parameters include total dissolved solids, total suspended solids, turbidity, pH dissolved oxygen, stream flow, temperature, as well as E. coli, fecal coliform bacterial levels. Our school, Mr. Santos, has participated in this event on numerous occasions. They've been willing to also provide us water quality testing kits in the past. And of course, this year, we have a couple of our teachers and schools that participated. Representing the high school dean is Lucy Gonzalez, and Claudia Palizo for the middle school coordinator position. High schools that participated is Emily Benavides Guzman from LBJ High School and her students, Tanya Benavides, LBJ High School and her students, Cristina Vasquez, Alexander High School and her students, Christina Ovalle, Alexander High School and her students, Catherine Avado, United High School and her students, and Carlos Herrera Jr. from United South High School and his students. In the middle school section, we have Jose Sanchez from Salvador Garcia Middle School with his students, Patricia Plant, United South Middle School and her students, Loreva Medina from Washington Middle School and her students, Jonathan Beltran, Washington Middle School and his students, Diana Reese, United South Middle School and her students, Jose Verial in United South Middle School and his students, Carmen Cruz, Antonio Gonzalez Middle School and her students, and Stephanie Sanchez from United Middle School and her students. This allows the Laredo sector as well as the grant to determine what kind of water quality testing that we have going in our water quality that's in our Rio Grande.
And if we could please smile for the picture for Mr. Meyer. Thank you and congratulations, honorees. Big round of applause. If we can have our honorees, please exit to the side of the stage, please. Up next is letter F, United Middle School Orchestra. This will be done by our Director of Fine Arts, Mr. Javier Vera.
United ISD is very proud to present our one and only orchestra program at United Middle School. Had 22 members qualify for the TMEA All-Region Orchestra. These students achieved this distinction by competing individually through a panel of 5 judges. We congratulate the orchestra director, Jacqueline Pena, first year at United Middle School, and United Middle School orchestra members. Congratulations.
And congratulations to members of our orchestra from United Middle School. The proud principal there is Miss Rebecca Morales. Congratulations, United Middle School Orchestra. Congratulations also, Miss Peña, the proud orchestra teacher. Letter G, 2016 AP Scholars and Educators. This will be done by Director of Advanced Academics, Mr. Mario Rosales.
Good evening, parents, teachers, students, and community members. It is with great pride that we would like to acknowledge UISD scholars and some of the AP teachers that have contributed to their campus sports tonight. These students have excelled in their studies while enrolled in our high schools, and they truly exemplify scholarship and academic excellence. These students have taken the College Board's advanced placement exams, rigorous college-level content-specific assessments, which various colleges and universities consider in awarding college credit or advanced placement. And an advanced placement student may earn one of the following 4 distinctions: the designation of AP Scholar by having received grades of 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams, the distinction of AP Scholar with honor by earning an average grade of at least 3.25 on all AP exams taken and grades of 3 or higher on 4 or more of these exams, the designation of AP Scholar with distinction by earning an average grade of 3.5 on all AP exams taken and grades of 3 or higher on 5 or more of these exams, or the designation of National AP Scholar for receiving an average score of at least 4 on all AP exams taken and scores of 4 or higher on 8 or more of these exams. The first group of students from John B. Alexander High School and their AP teachers. I will call out the names as they're going up the stage. National AP Scholar, Sofia Valdez. AP Scholars with distinction, Jacob Abdullah, Alejandra Canales, Alejandro Gonzalez, Emilio Jackman, Jan Lemarta, Rebecca Martinez, Edmundo Ramirez, Koshila Sakdev, and Sofia Valdez. AP Scholars with honor, Brianna Cruz, Victoria Gutierrez, Benjamin Lona, Joanne Kim Rim Kim, Carolina Sanchez. AP Scholars, Kevan Afri Karodi, Jose Ballesteros, Carlos Bird, Vivian Cantu, Donato Cardenas, Daniel Chapman, Alexis Coronado, Alisa Cruz, Bailey Diaz, Ruben Garcia, Angel Garza Reina, Adele Gonzalez, Miranda Guajardo, Alan Gutierrez, Hector Gutierrez, Nisha Lakiani, Don Lee, Gabriel Macias, Perla Medrano, Anisa Mohammed, Aisha Mohammed, Armando Morales, Vanessa Morales, Mary Newton, Andrea Peña, Maureen Rendon, Ruben Riojas, Carlos Rodriguez, Jorge Rodriguez, Ronald Rodriguez, Mario Saldívar, Angela Serna, Dorian Tren, Mariela Villarreal, and Anthony Wong. Congratulations to the 45 AP Scholars and AP teachers, Silvia Vargas, Rick Aguilar, Mercedes Orones, Mr. Ernesto Sandoval, Principal, Ms. Elvira Gaona, AP Coordinator from John B. Alexander High School. Congratulations. Congratulations. I had already done that.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations again, AP Scholars.
And next, we're very proud to introduce from J.B. Alexander High School, Orchestra Director Raimundo Peña had 18 students qualify for the TMEA Region Orchestra. Let's congratulate all of these orchestra members. These students also competed individually for a panel of about 5 judges performing prepared etudes on their instruments. They were violin, viola, cello, and bass. And through a rigorous audition process, they qualified for the regional level and then performed at a concert in Corpus Christi. Congratulations, Mr. Peña, Director from J.B. Alexander High School Orchestra. And also, we're very pleased in the area of marching band. This year, United ISD had 4 marching bands qualify for the area level. Now, the J.B. Alexander Bulldog Band qualified for the area level competition by receiving a first division at the regional marching contest. We now present the J.B. Alexander High School Marching Bulldog Band. Come on in, band members. As the band members are coming in, we'd like to introduce the band directors. They are Joshua Martinez. Also, band directors Lyle Perkins, Patrick Lewis, and Jacob Thompson. The visual instructors for J.B. Alexander Bulldog Band are Ana Ezeta, Priscilla Rangel, Jasmine Flores. Percussion technicians Jose Aguilar, Kevin Gonzalez, and Miguel Rodriguez.
I was thinking, those are tall, but on heels, right? You don't see them. No. I'm sorry.
Congratulations, JB Alexander High School Bulldog Band.
Bella, that's my baby. Hold on, I'm gonna go. Good evening again, board members. It is with great pride that we recognize the next team in the area of volleyball for their tremendous accomplishment this past fall, their top 15 state ranking, and their school and UISD record-setting season. Congratulations to the Lady Alexander Bulldog Volleyball team. These young ladies were ranked in the top 15 in the state, were the District 29 6A district champions, by-district champions, area champions, and regional quarterfinalists with a record-setting record of 43 wins and 3 losses. Head coach, Ari Bermea Mendoza. Congratulations, Lady Bulldogs. In tennis, the UIL set up a different system for the past 3 years that makes it a little harder to get to the regional. And for the second year in a row, the JB Alexander tennis team has come away with back-to-back area championships to qualify for the regional. Congratulations, Alexander tennis team. Head coach, Eric Cuellar. Assistant coach, Missy Cuellar. Congratulations, area champions.
Good evening. We now have the AP teachers and the AP scholar from LBJ High School. AP teachers, Elvia Arzola and Gabriela Montante. And AP scholar, Natalie Colban. Principal, Armando Salazar. AP coordinator, Erica Torres Hernandez, and their administration. Congratulations. Congratulations, LBJ AP Scholars, AP teachers.
And next, we're very proud to introduce to you the LBJ Wolf Band. It is under the direction of Rene Peña, head band director, and assistant directors will be joining him, Jose Luis Vara, David Ortiz, Saúl Caballero, visual instructor, Idalia Salinas, and student teacher, Eri Lozano. Let's welcome the LBJ Marching Band. Just to add that the LBJ Marching Band received a first division at the regional marching contest, and they also advanced to the Area G marching contest in Pharr, Texas, where they did an outstanding performance with their visual show. Congratulations, LBJ Wolf Band. Once again, congratulations, LBJ High School Marching Band.
Good evening. We now have the AP Scholars and AP teachers from United High School. We have Myra Gonzalez, Maria Antonieta Brewer, Michelle Gomez, Alberto Aleman Principal, Maria Alarcon AP Coordinator, and their administration. I will now call the AP Scholars. National AP Scholar, Ricardo Villarreal. AP Scholar with distinction, Ileana Cantu, Georgira Castañeda, Maria Castillo, Danielle King, Liliana Lozano, David Mejorado, Nikolai Nedev, Jose Ochoa, Amanda Powell, Omar Santos, Miguel Vega, Ricardo Villarreal. AP Scholars with honor, Didier Carrion, Michael Chow, Sofia Cisneros, Yolanda Contreras, Christopher Garibay, Hervey Gomez, Leonardo Grajeda, Cynthia Guzman, Randy Mai, Marco Morales, Heidi Pargas, Laura Rangel, Axel Rodriguez, Mariana Sarquis, Henry Wong. AP Scholars, Manuel Aguilar, Milagros Aguilar, Ashley Alejandro, Kevin Alfaro, Austin Allen, Victor Amaro, Carolina Angers, Alberto Aradias, Brittany Archer, Alisa Bernal, Iván Briones, Mauricio Canales, Fernando Castañeda, Gerardo Castañeda, Alma Cerda, Ryan Cervantes, Enrique Chapa, Mario Chapa, Christian Cisneros, Pauline Davila, René Díaz, Santiago Flores, Adolfo Fraga, César Fragoso, Luis García, Alejandro Garza, Gabriela Guerrero, Vanessa Gutierrez, Salma Guzmán, Paola Liendo, Juan Llano, Abhishek Mandal, Sabas Martínez, Luis Méndez, Adolfo Mendiola, Emanuel Muniz, José Ortiz, Sofía Pérez, Roberto Ponce, Claudia Cuijis, Francisco Ramírez, Carla Ramos, Guadalupe Rivera, Galia Robinson, Isabela Rosales, Arturo Servín, Charlie Suarez, Annette Verduzco, and Pablo Vielma. 76 AP Scholars, congratulations. Again, congratulations to United High School, AP Scholars, and AP teachers.
As we get ready for our next group, I'd like to say that the next band had 2 distinctions. They're coming up for 2 awards. They qualified for the regional level marching contest, and they advanced to the Area G marching contest. At the Area G marching contest, they were selected to advance to the UIL State Marching Championships in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome. We're very proud of the United High School Longhorn Band. If the band members can start coming forward, and as they come forward, I'll go ahead and introduce the marching band directors and the staff. Let me take the stage, band members, come on in. Band directors for the United High School Longhorn Band are John Mallon, He is assisted by Jose Castro, Michael Garcia, Michael Valdez. Visual instructor is Ivan Espinosa. Percussion techs are Jose Jara, Joaquin Lucio, marching tech Alexis Merino. And as I mentioned earlier, the Longhorn Band, having advanced to the state marching championships, they were recently honored by Laredo City Council, and they were also honored by Laredo Commissioners Court. Congratulations, Longhorn Band members and band directors. Now, even though the Longhorn Band has over 300 members, a few of them could not everybody could make it tonight, but you'll see a good portion representing the band as they line up. And I know the Principal Alberto Aleman and staff will be joining the band shortly on the stage. And I see all of the administrators and the principals. They'll be coming onto the stage as the band gets ready for the picture. Once again, the Longhorn Band is under the direction of John Mallon, assisted by directors Jose Castro, Michael Garcia, Michael Valdez. We also have visual instructor Ivan Espinosa, percussion techs Jose Jara, Joaquin Lucio, and marching tech Alexis Moreno. I had an opportunity to see the Longhorn Band compete at the state championships, and they had an outstanding performance, a great show, and they thrilled the audience members with their 300-piece marching band. They performed at the San Antonio Alamo Dome, and they were the only band from our region and only one of four bands from Region Area G to compete at this level.
Good evening. This year in volleyball, UISD had a great season with not one but two teams, for the first time in UISD history, advanced to the third round of the playoffs, the regional quarterfinals. It is with great pride that we recognize the United Longhorn volleyball team. This is the second consecutive years that United has finished in the regional quarterfinals, and the fifth year in a row that they advanced past the first round of the playoffs. This year, the ladies finish as bi-district champions, area champions, and regional quarterfinalists. Congratulations. Head coach, Leticia Longoria. Principal, Alberto Aleman. I would like to add one note. As you all know, this is the first year of our UIL realignment where the UIL added two new teams from San Antonio, and UISD and our teams were still very competitive and very successful. Thank you. Congratulations. In football, we'd like to recognize the United Longhorn football team for their fourth consecutive appearance in the third round of the playoffs. Congratulations, United High School. As I said, this is the fourth consecutive appearance in the third round. And out of the last 10 years, United has been to this round 7 times. This year they finished as bi-district champions, area champions, and regional semifinalists. Head coach David Sanchez and the coaching staff. Congratulations, Longhorns. Head coach David Sanchez, principal Mr. Alberto Aleman. Congratulations, United High School. In cross country, only the top 3 teams advanced to the regional meet. And this year, the United Boys Cross Country team punched their ticket to the regional meet in Round Rock. Congratulations, United High School Boys Cross Country team. In addition to the boys, only the top 10 runners qualified to the regional meet, and United had 2 young ladies qualify. Congratulations, Magali Lopez and Vanessa Gutierrez. Head coach Eddie Gonzalez, principal Alberto Alemán.
Good evening. We now have the AP Scholars from United South. AP teachers Maleli Blanco, Maria Perez. AP Scholars Paulina Fierro, Maximiliano Panigua, Kate Villarreal, Adriana Ramirez Principal, Sine Coroma AP Coordinator, and their administration. Congratulations.
That's it.
Congratulations to our 129 AP Scholars and their parents. Congratulations, United South High School.
And coming up next, we're very, very proud to introduce our final marching band that qualified to the regional level and the area level marching contest. And I do want to say that United South High School Panther Band, by 1 point, missed it to go to the state level. We're very proud of them. Congratulations, Panther Band members. Would like to add that the Panther Band is under the direction of Head Band Director Francisco J. Sosa and Assistant Directors Rodolfo Montalvo, Robert Ortiz, Christopher Sainz. Visual Instructor is Griselda Dosal, and the private lesson instructor, Melissa Montemayor, Juan Morales. Marching techs are Alice Almazan, Valentina Escamilla, Jocelyn Fuentes, Martha Vieira. We also like to add, because they were 1 point away from qualifying, they were considered the UIL state marching alternate ready to advance to state. They were ever so close. Congratulations, Panther Band members. Principal Adriana Ramirez, of course, is joining them on the stage along with the assistant principals and administrative team. Congratulations, Panther Band members and band directors.
In cross country, only the top 3 teams advanced to the regional meet. This year, the United South Lady Panther cross country team punched their ticket. Congratulations. United South girls cross country. In addition, only the top 10 individual performances also qualify. Congratulations to Alan Luna, boys regional qualifier. And in addition, UISD had 1 runner qualify for the state meet. Congratulations, Berenice Armandaris. Head coach Juan Salazar, assistant coach Cristina Tristan, principal Adriana Ramirez. Berenice, raise your hand, please. State qualifier, Berenice Armendariz. Congratulations. Last but not least, in one of the best seasons I've ever seen, and one of the most historical seasons in school history, congratulations, United South. I wasn't done reading the history. District 29 6A co-champions, by-district champions, and for the first time in school history, third round regional semifinalists. Congratulations, United South Panthers. Head coach Sergio Salinas, accompanied by the coaching staff, Principal Ms. Adriana Ramirez.
Congratulations once again to all of our honorees. Congratulations, parents. On behalf of our Board of Trustees and Superintendent, congratulations to all. Let's give our honorees a big round of applause. Another big round of applause for all of our honorees this evening. Thank you to everyone. As the students exit the stage, we are going to continue with the rest of the board meeting. Happy holidays from United ISD. Enjoy. We'll be continuing with the meeting.
Good evening. The time is now 7:26 p.m. on this, the 14th of December, 2016. I call this meeting of the United Independent School District Board of Trustees to order, and would ask Ms. Oliveros to assist us with a roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. Ramiro Vélez.
Present.
Mr. Ricardo Rodriguez.
Present.
Mr. Juan Roberto Ramirez,
Present.
Mr. Judd Gilpin,
Present.
Mr. Ricardo Molina,
Present.
Elisa Flores Oliveros for the record. Present, Mr. Javier Montemayor. We have a quorum.
All righty, thank you very much. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present and that this meeting has been duly called and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. At this time, I'd ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, the Texas Pledge, and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Please be seated. All right, are there any board announcements? Okay, very good.
No, I would just like to thank the teachers at Alexander High School who took the time out of their lunch schedule to come meet with me to talk about some of the items that are going to be on this agenda. So I just want to thank them for taking their personal time to meet with me at the campus. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I just want to wish everyone, I said everyone in the district, a great and wonderful holidays, a very Merry Christmas with your family. Be safe. We'll see you next year when the school starts with the same eager as you have been doing it the rest of the year and all the years. God bless you all. Que no se acabe United.
All right, item number 5 has already been covered, recognitions, so we will move on to public comments. And I will note the comments that have been submitted have been in reference to something we have as a public hearing, which is going to be covered in agenda item number, where is that?
7D.
7D. So at that time, we'll take the comments as part of the public hearing. Since there are no other public comments, we will move on to item number, I don't know, my little itinerary here seems to be off. Let me check the
6
agenda.
would be item 6, consent agenda.
We're missing, seems like we're missing number 4. Anyway,
That was the
item
pledge
number
of
6. At this time, we're going to do consent agenda items. Do we have a motion pertaining to consent agenda items 6A through E?
Motion for approval.
All right, so there's a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
Is there any discussion on the consent agenda items?
Nope.
All right, all those in favor? All right, the item passes unanimously. Items for individual consideration, agenda item number 7. Item 7A, approval of the board minutes for the month of November.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes for November 2016.
Second?
Any discussion? All right, all those in favor? All right, the item passes. Agenda item 7B, donations.
Yes, Mr. Gilbert, members of the board, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees graciously accept the following donations. They will be attached to the minutes. There's one donation over $1,000. UISD received a donation of $750. Winstead for Let's Move Forward Scholars. We've received some other smaller donations. Grand total this month was $4,007 that we graciously accept. I want to thank these people for helping our schools.
All righty. All right, do we have a motion?
Second.
Motion to approve is presented, and second. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right, the item passes unanimously. All right, item 7C, discussion and appropriate action on the resolution to initiate the process of designation of the district as a district of innovation as defined by the 84th legislative session in House Bill 1842.
Yes. Good evening, board members and members of the audience. Tonight we present the revised resolution to initiate the process of designation as a district of innovation.
Revisions were made to this resolution after receiving input from the teachers and parents during the public comment section at last week's instructional committee meeting. I would like to stress that the assurances noted by the individuals present as recommended have been included in this revised resolution. Specifically, that the board will not seek exemptions under District of Innovation from the following existing laws, which relate to teacher contracts, including salary or days of employment that was never on the table at all for discussion by administration or as mentioned or as presented to you all, to our Board of Trustees. Teacher schedules, specifically planning periods, duty-free lunches, or lengthening the school day for any teacher. That was never on the table and is not on the table to be exempt from this act. Employee complaint procedures or the grievance policies or any other existing laws except the ones noted in our resolution at last week's meeting. And these include the following. The only thing that the administration is recommending to the board at this time are these 5 items. The law prohibiting the district from beginning instruction before the 4th Monday in August. The law that requires the minimum attendance, which is a 90% rule for students for class credit or final grade. And the laws that limit the ability of the district to hire professionals in dual credit programs and certain trades and vocations to teach the crafts of those trades and vocations in career and technical courses when certified teachers are not available, and the law that limits each campus to designate only one individual to serve as campus behavior coordinator. And the last item that we propose is a law that authorizes each school district to provide a minimum of 75,600 minutes of instruction, including intermission and recesses for students. And this is for pre-kinder and for those individuals in the PASS program. Those are those 5 items that we are looking at exemptions. They are stated in the resolution. Any questions that you may have of me?
I might. I want to get some clarification on the agenda items as they're laid out here. We have 7C, which is to take some action on the item, and then we have the public hearing. At the public hearing, would it then be appropriate to take action again, or what's the order of this?
You can.
Do we need to take action on both items, 7C and 7D, or is there action only on one or the other?
Well, the resolution is, no, you would have to take action on the resolution. The public hearing would come after. And the most important item really for the night is agenda item 7E, because that's whether or not the district is going to be moving forward with forming the committee to come up with a plan for the District of Innovation.
Yeah,
so that's really the act.
Is it 3 different motions then?
Sure, yes, absolutely. I mean, 2 motions, 7C and E. D does not an action of the board. It's just basically to take comments from the people that are here that want to speak on the District of Innovation. So it's not an action item, it's just for information.
No action on D, gotcha. Very good, so at this point in time, I will probably curtail my questions until after the public hearing.
Okay.
So the motion that we would need on 7C is still a little bit confusing to me, but we would be approving the resolution on 7C to initiate the process. I guess that's the clarification here, is to initiate the process.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we would need a motion to begin. Is there a motion to initiate the process of designation? We have a motion, a second. Is there any discussion at this time? No?
I just want to say for the record that I am going to vote for it with an honest desire to hear from the public regarding this item.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're about to do that next. So at this time, it's just to initiate.
Just to initiate. the
Okay,
process.
so we're initiating the process. There's a motion for a second. Any further discussion? No. Okay, all those in favor? Very good. So going to the next item, the public hearing, item 7D, to consider this. At this point in time, we can begin with some comments.
Do you want the comment, sir, first, or a short overview of the information?
Would that be different than what we just got?
I just wanted to see so I can give you an overview. I know that most of you were in attendance there at the instructional committee meeting.
If you have something additional for tonight, go ahead.
No, sir, it's the same, basically the same information.
I mean, in addition to what you just said a moment ago, if you want to add to that, this is the right time, please do.
Hey, good evening, board members and UISD community. I come before you this evening to present the district's proposal for United ISD to be a district of innovation as per House Bill 1842. I would like to share some background and history about the District of Innovation program. In 2015, a Texas law was passed, which is known as House Bill 1842. This bill allows certain acceptably rated school districts to become districts of innovation. We meet the criteria to become a district of innovation, and to claim exemptions from many state laws from the Texas Education Code that affect public education. Some benefits of becoming a district of innovation: provides opportunity for more local control, flexibility, and autonomy as districts seek to meet the needs of students and the communities served. Among the areas where other districts have chosen to innovate is the first day of school before the fourth Monday, the minimum minutes of instruction, particularly as it relates to pre-kinder and alternative education programs, such as the PASS program at LBJ High School. Class size, these are other districts. Our district is not proposing that. Designation of campus behavior coordinators, local certification for hard-to-hire dual credit and career and technical education teachers. Some background information about how DOI commenced in United ISD. The idea for United ISD to pursue the District of Innovation proposal was not something that was done haphazardly. The idea of District of Innovation was first presented to our management team, headed by our superintendent. Then it was presented to our instructional cabinet, headed by our associate superintendent, Mr. David Gonzalez, which assisted in narrowing down which areas were focused on for exemptions. Again, we came up with 5 areas. Then UISD administrators reached out to Laredo ISD, our sister district, and the main reason in contacting LISD was to share our idea and to come to a consensus regarding a uniform calendar in our community. We felt that of all of them, that is probably the most important exemption that we would like to seek, because that would assure that we would have enough days in our calendar to provide our teachers and our students with a calendar that is, I should not say flexible, but has periodic, it's not crammed into from September through May. It's not so compressed for our teachers. And it would allow them a little bit more days of holidays throughout the calendar. If we do not move in this direction, we will lose our week in Thanksgiving, which is something we've had since 2011. And we would have to cut back on our teacher holidays during the week of Christmas. And I know when you look at it, when you look at 5 days, for anybody else, 5 days does not seem like a major dilemma. But in a school setting, in a school system, it does. Because we will have to compress our instructional 175, 176 days of instruction, probably from September to May. Because we will have to finish in June, by June 4th. By June, actually May 31st. So that, yes, ma'am.
I have a question. In regards to that, starting a week early, does this also assist with the ending of the semester for students, where they wouldn't have to take a Christmas break and then come back and take finals?
Yes, ma'am. We have looked at that. Our days, our semesters will not be balanced day per day, but if you look at instructional days, when we looked at that, we would have to have that week before to start earlier so that we can close that semester before the holiday break.
And this would be in line with a lot of other school districts in the state of Texas.
Yes.
And with students that are transferring to other school districts, this would help with them.
Correct.
Ending their semester, not having to wait, some students having to stay behind while their parents are having to move out of town, and it just complicates matters. Not only that, but I think it's best. I mean, all universities do. They take their finals before they take their Christmas break.
And that affects our students who are in dual credit, ma'am. They're finishing right now with LCC, yet when they come back in January, they'll still be in that particular course.
And that is one of the things that I really like about the calendar itself. Not so much the holidays, because everybody's going to say, well, holidays, we can do without them. But for me, the interest is in the students.
And people do say that, but when you are a classroom teacher,
yes.
Yes, ma'am.
No, we're probably about to hear that.
Yes, ma'am. You're a classroom teacher, and you're teaching either your class load is 100, 150 students, or even the 22 students that you would have. That staff development day, it's not to take away from professional development, but when you're not in a classroom setting and you're getting the training that you would need, that you can come back and use with those classrooms, that is, with your students, that is necessary to keep our district moving in the right direction.
I agree.
So,
I'm also interested in not only being certain that the kids could complete out that semester before they are on break, but also that the work to close out the semester by staff members would be completed, before the break as well. What I really wouldn't want to do is inadvertently not realize there's a detail here that would not allow for that, and then we would end up with, say, a little bit of work 2 or 3 days after people come back from the holidays to straighten all of it out and meet whatever requirements have to be met. So
Our new schedules could be given.
if we don't have that captured at this point in time, I would expect that in a committee looking at this, a committee of staff members could ensure that when it's presented to the board, I think all board members would likely want to at least consider that.
Yes, sir.
So we don't want to eliminate that possibility inadvertently,
Yes, sir.
I think. Is that allowed for here, the way it's
Yes, sir.
written up?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a key thing.
And then for those board members that were not present during the committee meeting, it is also important, it's actually necessary that we end in May, because there was some research of laws that the colleges and universities have to start their summer session in June the 4th.
Yes, ma'am.
So there's no flexibility there. So it's a condensed calendar.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think it would be a very stressful calendar, not only for staff, but for students, most importantly.
And that affects attendance, ma'am,
Sure does.
for our teachers, our employees, and our students.
It's almost counterproductive.
Right. Well, we feel it is. To continue, UISD did make the attempt to reach to LISD, and we just felt that the calendar was probably the biggest item on there, as mentioned before. And then we reached out to our local employee organization representatives to discuss in detail the district's plan to complete the process for District of Innovation. We heard their concerns and have made assurances as noted in the resolution. I'm going to go back to that resolution, that those assurances are made for the concerns that they have shared with us. I turn your attention now to slide number 6 on the PowerPoint. I'm hoping this works. As mentioned already, these are the only exemptions that we would like for the board to consider, and this is what the committee is going to hear as well. If the committee at that point does not feel that we want to bring forth these recommendations to you all, they will not be included in the plan. We are looking at that committee to be comprised of individual teachers and so forth. The 5 areas, again, the start date for the calendar, teacher certification, minimum attendance for students, campus behavior coordinator to have more than one individual at a campus, and the instructional minutes for the pre-kinder and the PASS program.
All right.
The timeline as proposed for you, today is December 14th. The resolution is presented for your approval. We'll hold our public hearing after. Then we would like to have our first meeting with the DAC, which is comprised of 47 teachers from different campuses, from all of our campuses. They're all represented. And so that we can identify those exemptions, or we've already identified the exemptions, but see if they're in agreement with bringing those exemptions to you all.
Right, so you could take some out or whatever.
Yes, sir.
Modify them a little bit.
Correct. And then start developing our plan.
And so what we have before us right now is to consider whether or not to allow you to look into it and bring it back to us.
Yes, sir.
So what would be the timeline, the board meeting where y'all would actually bring it back to us?
We will not bring it back to you until March, sir.
And that would include whatever input you get from the committee?
Yes, sir. They would have the opportunity to vote for that at that point.
Yeah.
They will develop the plan. We will present the plan. Our teachers back at each campus, every campus has a representative. Those information, we will receive input back from them. And then we would revise and make those recommendations as noted. If any recommendations are made, we come back to the committee. They would in turn vote for it. We post online for 30 days, and that brings us to March 22nd.
Okay, let's not fail to mention the power of this committee.
Yes, ma'am.
This committee, I thought it was 50 teachers. It's not 50 teachers.
It's 47 teachers, ma'am, 3 administrators.
teachers. This committee has the power to kill every single proposal.
Yes.
So all we're approving is to initiate the process. That's all we're approving here today.
Can they add anything to it? Like if they come up
No,
with some
sir,
other
because the
ideas, so they can
resolution is
just
very, very
review
clear.
what's on the
The resolution only limits me to those 5.
All they can do is shoot down one of those
or
5.
less,
Yes.
5 or less, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to stick to the resolution.
Okay, and another thing I wanted to mention in regards to the calendar that was mentioned during the committee meeting was that many students were duly enrolled and they didn't have to graduate later to start their summer school June 4th, but that's a very select amount of students. Not every student is duly enrolled. They have to graduate before they can start summer school. And then I talked to some teachers, and I said, well, it was mentioned that teachers only take classes in the evening, and one of the teachers said, no, that's not true. In the summer, I take classes during the day.
And some of our teachers teach.
I think a lot of the teachers that I spoke to were not fully informed as to what's being proposed here. There was a lot of misinformation that was given to them. And so I felt that at some of the schools that I went to, even I went to Nye Elementary, a lot of the teachers said, well, we were just getting all these emails with all of this negative stuff about it. We didn't realize that there were so many advantages to it, that this was actually going to benefit us. And more than anything, they liked the calendar. So I felt that a lot of them didn't have the full information. They didn't know that the 5 proposals could be shot down. We could go nowhere.
I personally, the impression that I've gotten a lot of calls on this, and my impression is that to begin with, it seemed like people thought we were considering things we were not.
Exactly.
Which were things like, for example, eliminating a planning period or lengthening work days or changing the format of contracts or many things that I've heard. The second part of what seemed to be a misunderstanding is the belief that somehow to do what it is that we're looking to do would somehow grant authority specifically to do all kinds of other stuff that's not specifically talked about in this. So I want to make sure that I understand the process and that people in the audience understand. The process that's allowed for by the House Bill 1842 specifically requires you to initiate the process with the board to say, these are the things we're looking at. Nothing more than what you present could ever be looked at by the committee.
Because our resolution now ties us to that.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And the committee, the process also defined by House Bill 1842 requires it to be sent to a committee that's comprised in the manner that we put the committee together. And then it requires that whatever they come up with, whatever they eliminate or whatever they agree to keep on there has to come back to us.
Yes, sir.
And then at that time, we would actually take action to implement it.
You will vote an approval on that
But
plan.
it's not implemented even at that time unless it's sent up to the TEA, and the TEA reviews the whole process and decides all the T's were crossed and I's were dotted and so on.
TA does not
So that's-
approve. I just want to correct that,
Yeah.
clarify that.
Or the commissioner.
Correct. They will not approve.
Yeah.
The board would approve. We just submit and notify them that,
And
that
they're checking for administrative completeness and that the procedures
make sure
are
that we
followed.
actually are eligible to be on this plan.
Right.
Yes,
So
sir.
they're just looking for administrative completeness and the steps and all that. But the exact steps we're following here are not something that were created by the district. They're exactly a set of steps that are followed in order to satisfy the administrative requirements set forth in House Bill 1842.
Correct, sir. Statute.
Okay. So that seems to be a great misunderstanding. Part of that also is that the exact same set of steps, if we did implement, say we have 5 items, hypothetically, if we implemented 3 of them,
Yes, sir.
and later on we decided that it wasn't such a good idea and we wanted to delete one of them, the only way we could do that is to have the whole process completed again, go back to the committee, have the
Correct.
committee agree to take one off, they would send it to us, we would agree that we want to have 2, then again, the TEA would check for administrative process or whatever. So there's no real way to modify this short of redoing the whole thing, even if you want to delete something.
Correct, sir.
Okay,
Any
so the same thing
modification?
would apply if you wanted to add something, you'd have to
Correct.
start over. When you want to add something, all the things you've done before are on the table again, correct, for the whole process?
Yes, sir. We
So you
would start
can't,
right here again.
you can't add a single item or delete a single item individually. You have to put all the other items up for consideration again, and the whole process is repeated?
No, you can have an amendment,
Yeah.
you can add, but you would still have to have the same process. I would have to have my resolution allowing
So-
us to amend.
So hypothetically, the 3 that if they pass now, you wanted to add one, you could simply go through the process to look at a new one all by itself?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. But if you wanted to delete one,
I'd have to start all over again.
all of it has to go back. I gotcha. I was trying to make sure that I understand the whole process.
But again, we cannot fail to point out that the control, the power, the authority is mostly in the hands of the committee. Because if the committee votes against any proposal, it's not going to go through. And I don't think any teacher would ever vote to do away with contracts. I don't think there's any teacher that would ever vote to do away with work days or holidays or the grievance procedure. That's just not going to happen. If you're a teacher on that committee, you're going to make sure that's never going to happen. You have the authority.
Ma'am, and as an administrator, I would never make that recommendation when
And
we
as a
have
board member,
3,000 teachers.
I'd never
And
approve it.
I think also, though, as due to the input that we got at the last meeting, the resolution that's being looked at tonight to even begin the process goes so far as to list off all the things that are not in it, that were mentioned at the last meeting.
Correct, sir.
You want to read that off to us, whatever's excluded?
Yes, sir. Go back from the
There's no
resolution.
specific requirement to have a list of stuff that's excluded, but as a good measure, we are listing off, as per the recommendation of somebody that was at the last meeting,
Yes, sir.
these
We went
items
back.
to be excluded. Go ahead and list that
We went
off.
back and revised those after hearing from the committee, from the individuals who spoke there. To reiterate, the United ISD Board of Trustees will not seek, under District of Innovation, exemptions from any existing laws relating to teacher contracts, including salary or days of employment, teacher schedules, specifically planning periods, duty-free lunches, employee complaint procedures, which is our grievance policies, or any other existing laws,
Okay.
except for the 5 that we mentioned.
Now, that's great and everything. I can't imagine that it would ever happen, but the committee could exclude that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the committee is going to look at this, and they're going to understand what they're looking at.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
And technically, they could come back with something that's very, very, very much in their favor. They could add something later on when
No,
we
they
start the
can't
whole
add.
process all over.
They can't
We'd have
add.
to start the whole
Correct.
process all over.
You cannot add, I would have to bring the
cannot add.
resolution
In the
back.
future,
They
in
can
the
only
future,
delete.
in the
Remember this,
future.
if this goes through, it's good for 5 years,
Okay.
provided that we maintain our
It ex-
accountability ratings.
Yeah, gotcha. So it'd have to be revisited, like, let's say we think they're all good measures and everybody's happy and all that at the end of 5 years, the whole process exactly has to be repeated?
Yes, sir.
we change
Unless it changes in the legislative
I
sessions.
gotcha.
So we'll
Okay,
be back in 2022.
very good.
All right? Any other
I
questions?
just think there was just a misconception with some of the teachers, the way they got it. But I think clarifying, I think Ms. Oliveros and what Mr. Gilpin is doing, I think with this, it should clarify some of the things so that some of the teachers could understand what actually is being actually put up on the table for them and what's
Yes, sir.
coming up.
We
with
did
this bill.
send a letter out to all our employees through email, everybody who has an email. We have posted an article or story in today's employee newsletter. That was some information that was shared with everybody with regards to the proposal for this. In addition to that, we met with our principals yesterday. I presented the same information that I presented to the instructional committee yesterday, gave them the PowerPoint so that they can go back and talk to their teachers. Share with them the links to TASB and TEA, noting how many districts are going in this route, what plans are already on there. There are currently 47, last I counted, 47 to 51 districts that have already submitted their plans to the state and have already gone through the process and have had board approval. And there's over 100 already in the pipeline to continue that process. So this is something really that is taking off because as districts are developing their calendars, they are looking at that loss of the five days that we've had for the future. And that's going to happen till 2020.
Okay, Ms. Randon, one of the concerns that I got from staff was that if we were to hire for some of these certain hard-to-fill slots, they were worried that a non-certified teacher would come in making more than a certified teacher because it was a hard-to-fill slot.
The hard-to-fill slots are,
No, we follow the, pay plan that we have based on years of experience, so that wouldn't have an effect. And again, the only time that we'll look for an uncertified teacher is if we don't have one in the district. That's the key, which is also part of the resolution.
Very specific in
Yes,
the
ma'am.
resolution.
Yes.
We're not going to, as we mentioned, we're not going to hire an English teacher who's not certified because we have a pool of English teachers who are
Absolutely.
certified.
If we can't find one example is building trades, very good example. It's difficult to find, even home and family living, which is the old homemaking, nobody's going back for that.
Basically, what it would do is it would allow you to fill a position if you didn't have another applicant that met the
Yes.
requirements.
Yes, sir.
So that you wouldn't end up with an empty position, basically not have a complete program to offer to students.
Yes, sir.
Just want to
Okay.
say that the record that to mention, because a lot of questions have come up to myself. Different personnel that are afraid that this district will become a charter school, which eventually we're not going to become any charter school at all. We're going to be public schools,
Yes, sir.
like always has been.
Ms. Rendon, what kind of feedback did you get back from staff when you met with them?
The principals, they were, for the most part, the concern, of course, is the calendar. And so that's the number one priority as a district and as administrators that we received some feedback. The other one is the behavior coordinator on each campus and the processes that we use in that because you have to have that certified letter or that letter that needs to go out to the parents. And so we want to use other methods, whether it could be a telephone call, designate, first of all, more than one individual per campus as a behavior coordinator because it's unrealistic to have one administrator on each campus be responsible for signing off, calling an individual parent when there's an ISS, an OSS placement, and that person cannot be in charge when you have a campus of 2,000 to 3,000 students, 4,000 students in some cases. So not only that particular individual, they like that particular area. In addition, they looked at the 90% rule, and this is not a guarantee or not automatic for any student. I mean, we know how hard our teachers work with our particular students, and it's not for the individuals who take advantage of not meeting that 90% rule. But there are extreme, sometimes hardship cases where students do not qualify for homebound services because they do not meet the timeline requirements or so forth, yet they will be retained or lose credit because they do not meet the 90% attendance rule. I'll give you, for example, you had a student who had a broken arm, had surgery, and had to be out for, say, 4 weeks or 3 weeks. That child will not qualify for homebound services because they do not meet that specific timeline to receive services at home, but they've already lost 15 days. If they miss 3 more days, they've lost their credit. At a high school, it's only 9 days when you look at it per semester. So those are the hardship cases that we're looking at. It's not a freebie. And those teachers, I think that would be instrumental when we develop that committee to look at that and establish some parameters and some guidelines for our administrators.
Again, the control belongs to the committee.
Correct. And the plan that we are going to propose and write for you all for your approval.
Okay. Very good. Did you have anything else to add?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. So that's the presentation and the other part. Was there any further questions?
Public hearing.
Okay, so we also have comments on this item. I'll begin with Beverly Herrera. Is Beverly present?
I'm Beverly Herrera, and I represent the Association of Texas Professional Educators. I'm the local president. Some of the concerns with House Bill 1842 and what it was designed to improve the students' educational outcomes. That's what it was designed for. And as a way to market district schools to be competitive with charter schools. That's what the original intention of the law was, to improve educational outcomes. It may include provisions regarding the district budget. It may do this. You say that no teachers would vote against their own self, but Spring Branch voted with the committee, with teachers, to basically seek exemption from all possible provisions of the TEC as allowed by the statute, which means they asked for every single exemption. So, yes, teachers can be persuaded or talked into voting against their own interest, and that's what concerns us a lot. Because when you get a committee and the committee has a lot of administrators on it, it's very intimidating for a lot of teachers. And they tend to say yes to things that they don't want to say yes to or that they wouldn't normally. It's extremely intimidating when you have people sitting there who control whether you get a promotion or whether you get a good evaluation, watching you, what you say and how you vote. It is very intimidating. There are possible rights and protections that might be compromised by this is that there's no set start time for school year, there's no set length of the school year, there's no set instructional day. It's likely that DRI will be able to make schedule changes at any time during the year. It may include any other innovations prescribed by the Board of Trustees. That's the way it's written. And that's very scary for a lot of teachers.
Let me ask you a question. I'll
That's okay.
make sure we don't count the time there. That's 2 minutes already, so I need to give her a minute. But I'm trying to get straight.
Yes.
Are you talking about the legislation itself allowing for all of that? Or are you talking about
I'm talking about
proposal?
The legislation and our proposal that when it gets in, once it gets started, then it can be brought back anytime. The committee can be
Yeah,
changed.
but even if we didn't do it, it could be brought back to
It
add
could be
something.
brought back,
Right.
and the committee can be changed
Gotcha.
at any time, and so it really can be,
Are there
no matter
any-
what assurances.
Are there any items on this particular proposal specifically that you think are acceptable? Or do you just disagree with all 5 items?
The people that I've spoken with basically don't want to open the door. They don't feel that.
Yeah, but I'm
that-
just, my
okay.
question is just
Yes.
any of the items. Is there an item there that you want to tell us that you would say there's no item there that you would accept? Like, for example, finding a way to change the schedule to allow for the semester to end before the end of the year. before
I
the
don't
holidays.
see that changing to a district of innovation in order to change the schedule is that beneficial to students. And that's the main purpose of this law, was for educational benefit to students. When we have students that graduate early, we deal with them on a one-to-one basis, and they are able to start college on time. We
Okay.
finish the semester.
So the point is you don't agree with any one of the items?
I haven't found any that are worth starting this with. No.
That's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm still researching.
Allow her another minute to finish her presentation. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
That's
I'm just
okay.
curious which thing you were talking about.
That's okay. It was, like I said, it was originally designed for innovation, to create schools that had a small niche, working with colleges or with communities in order to bring in something different that's not under the normal. And what I see here is working for exemptions for the convenience. And I understand, some of them sound good. It was rushed through the legislature. Like I said, the committee can be done away with. That maybe a lot of times that I hear that people who voted for it, well, I didn't know all the things, the information. The letter from the superintendent stated that we're not asked for anything else other than the 5 items. And yet, when we met as a group, he did bring up that, well, we want to bring up another item later dealing with teacher evaluation and come with a different one. So if he says we're not going to deal with any one, and yet he said that we're going to bring up teacher evaluations to try to get something better for you, that already is a contradiction that kind of causes me problems.
I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Our next public comment will be provided by Tony Garcia.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Tony Garcia, and I am here as a TSTA-AR at my campus. I'm here as a teacher, a concerned citizen, and most importantly, as a parent. To the Honorable UISD School Board, Superintendent Santos, my fellow teachers and co-workers, parents, and distinguished guests. This honorable body has seen fit to introduce this District of Innovation as an innovative way of solving 3 problems. I respectfully propose to you that this DOI is far from innovative and far from a solution to the problems that ail our schools. I assure you that the answers you seek should never be found in solutions that lower the standards of education and much less lower the professional standards of our teachers. UISD students have always reached greater heights year after year through the selfless and often unrewarded heroic efforts of our professional teachers and the amazing support staff. We cannot and must not pass this DOI that only serves to threaten the quality of education that students receive by lowering the standards of attendance for students and lowering the educational certification requirements for incoming teachers. I'm a proud Laredo and UISD resident and am just as proud, if not more, to be a teacher. However, the more important role that I have in life is being a parent to my 8-year-old twins who attend a UISD school, and as a parent, I want my children to attend a school in which they will be taught by the most highly trained and highly qualified professional teachers, and not by someone who is recruited out of expediency or desperation. Finally, while you claim that the scope of this DOI is limited, I don't believe that it limits the dangers to the rights of teachers. Past experiences have taught us that proposals such as DOI are just the beginning of what will only serve to further oppress teachers by taking away more and more of our rights and our dignity as professionals, and lower the standard of education for which UISD has always been known. Salaries for most UISD students have been frozen, have been frozen so many times, and we are told that we have to do this because it's for the good of the children, as if this were a concept that is foreign to us. You have added minutes to the beginning of the day and added minutes to the end of the day, and again, you tell us that it is for the good of the children. Now you want us to happily accept that what you propose to force upon us and pretend that it is good for the children. It is time that you do something that is good for the students and do uphold the validity of and the honor of being called a teacher. I respectfully and emphatically encourage this honorable body to do the right thing for our students, our teachers, our staff, our parents, and our community as a whole, and categorically reject this far from innovative DOI proposal. Vote no on moving forward with this regressive proposal and send a message to the community that UISD genuinely cares for students and teachers and by continuing to support high standards for our students and for our teachers. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask you a question. Is there any particular part of it? There's 5 parts. Is there any part of it that you would support?
Well, if you want to break it down into different things in order to minimize the objection that any one of us feel, I think that's not the right approach to do. But I've already broken down for you. If you want to lower the standards, thinking that some students are going to, that 90% is a high standard to demand of students, I think that you're opening up a Pandora's box in which students and parents will abuse it. As it is, as a teacher, I have gone back when students have been hurt, and they come back and say, well, he was in the hospital. I'll go back and change a grade. And so that's not a big problem.
I kind of gathered that there were some parts you didn't like, but my question to you is there a part you do like of any of the 5?
There is nothing that I like about it because I think it threatens, the genuine validity of a teacher. I mean, I am honored anytime somebody says that I'm a teacher. When somebody says, Mr. Garcia is a teacher, it comes with certain authority. It comes with certain value because of all the effort that we put into our education and our training and our genuine concern for the students. And it's not just somebody that's pulled out of the professional world. And if you want to do that, that's fine. But demand that they get certified, demand that they get the training. It's not just somebody that's going to be a warm body that's going to be in the classroom.
Understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Jose Ovando. Okay. Mr. Rene de la Viña.
Good evening, honorable board members, Superintendent Santos. For the record, Rene de la Viña, TSTA full-time president. The reason we're so against this, like Mr. Santos stated earlier, this innovation process can be abused. Why is it that all the associations, ATPE, TCTA, AFT, and us, TSTA, are against this? This comes from the advice of our attorneys saying that this is a dangerous process. It can be abused. It probably won't be abused right now because we have a good school board and we have an excellent superintendent. But can it happen in the future? Yes, it can. I mean, if you want, you can get puppets into that committee, the ones that you know are yes people, and you can do whatever you want with them, and they're going to agree to everything. We would rather not go there, but, if you must go there, and you must vote for this, then I'd like to see at least in writing, voted on by the committee and also voted on by the board to include everything that Ms. Rendon said, if you have to go there, which I have a feeling you're going to do anyway. You also left out, and I'm going to give a copy to Mr. Cruz, your attorney, about also paid leave under state law. You also left out the right to temporary disability leave. That needs to be added there if you must go that route. And also Chapter 37 to remove a disruptive student by a teacher. So there, and I have a whole list here that they left out that I'm going to give to Mr. Cruz. And that we, like you to at least put it in there and vote on it. And make sure that never, ever state it some way, and I'll have our attorneys look at it too, and have your attorney, Mr. Cruz, look at it, where it says there that everything that Ms. Rendon mentioned, the paid leave, duty-free lunch, and everything else that she added in there will be voted on in a policy where it says that you can never go back and take that away from our teachers. Every single one that she mentioned, plus the ones that I mentioned. Because if not, later on in the future, you're not going to be here forever, and neither Mr. Santos, and neither am I. We have a vindictive board member, and we've had those in the past, here at United and LISD, because I've dealt with them. It can be abused, and it's just a matter of time, it will be abused. So we're asking you, if you don't have to, don't even go for District of Innovation. But if you must vote on it, that you include this and you make it, that it passes through the committee and also becomes a policy where you cannot touch what I just mentioned, please. That's number one. Otherwise, if you don't put it there, then you're just all talking. You're not, backing up what you say. Okay, so I'm asking you that, please, on behalf of TST and our members. And Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Oliveira. Our next public comment will be provided by Edna Olmida.
Good evening. My name is Edna Olmida, and I'm the TSTAR representative and a 52-year UISD district resident and grandparent and advocate of children attending UISD school. I come to you to express my concern in opposition to the district's intention to become a district of innovation. Because of time, because I don't think I'm going to be a lot at the same time as Ms. Rendon. So because of time, you are aware of the reasons that UISD has presented in moving towards becoming a DOI. So I'm going to kind of counteract those reasons. And by the way, I did research and it was 47. And I hope you all will go back and research as well. There is 47 districts, so, and nationwide, I mean, that's nothing really. But, and there's so many changes that she addressed. I would have wished that she addressed those issues in the previous meeting, because this kind of speech kind of just goes out the door. But I will read it with the idea that it's intended because of the first one. I will say that her reason number one, in reference to the current calendar, and this is what I had written. The current calendar, as previous calendars, although not perfect, have function. And I'm going to retract now. I assume that most of you have adult children, just as I do, and it has function. I don't think that you have been faced with any problem whatsoever with your daughter or son graduating and encountering any problems that they have stated. It has worked for us. And if it's not broken, why fix it? I have yet to hear parents, teachers, staff, nor students complain, nor express any concerns over the setup of the school calendar. So that's out the door, I think. That's not a good reason enough. Number two, exempting students from a minimum 90% rule attendance, and I think Mr. Tony addressed that a lot more beautifully than I did, or I will. For class credit or final grade, this exemption goes against our goals to improve attendance. This move to waive this exemption may backfire and further encourage students to be absent regularly, affecting our state funding and our students' learning. There are currently programs in place where students can make up classes and assure they get the instruction and credit they need to be successful. Number three, just because someone is experienced in a field does not necessarily mean they are experienced in the field of teaching. You may be brilliant in math, but that does not mean you can teach someone who struggles in that area. Experience in a field does not come with the guarantees it takes to be a teacher. As for university professors, I believe they are accustomed to other routines and are at a university teaching because of that. Their expectations are having students being responsible, punctual, independent, and so forth, while teachers are skilled in various areas and have the passion, the patience, and the skills that we take them for granted. And we overlook all these things. They are effective at dealing with students who are responsible and irresponsible, empathetic to those who may not be independent, and work hard to get them to where they should be. Finally, number four, although I am empathetic to the fact that only one individual serves as a campus behavior coordinator, I am also empathetic to the concerns that many have expressed to the possible implementation of a DOI. I am further skeptical of what lies ahead should their assurances of not seeking other exemptions be rescinded. And although we have been assured that other exemptions will not be sought, we cannot help but be skeptical due to several attempts at taking away our planning periods and our constant battle with excessive paperwork, to name a few. And I have provided a form that states that they require us to waive, and it is a form of intimidation when we are presented with that form in front of our colleagues and obligated to either decide right then and there whether we agree with it or not. I will quote your mission statement for 2016-2017. If we are to act in the best interest of the children we serve, and if in fact you do want to meet your district goals, for example, number 2, to provide a safe, nurturing, and positive and secure learning environment for students and staff. Goal number 4, ensure employment, recruitment, support, and retain, and I repeat, retain effective teachers, principals, and other instructional staff. Then let's work on goal number 5. Let's ensure the district is accountable and efficient by working united, and I repeat, united, to find a solution to fix the problems and issues at hand without the implementation of DOI. These things can be fixed without DOI. Why instill more fear? I've asked many teachers if there was a problem.
Do you have a point number 5? You were on number 4, weren't you?
No, I skipped total number 5 because I realized I only had 3 minutes.
You're over by a couple minutes.
Oh,
We let you keep going. We let you keep
oh,
going.
thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate that.
All right.
5 minutes, yeah.
Very good.
That's all I have to say then.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. At this time,
We don't have anything.
we'll need a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor? Okay, the public hearing is closed at this time. Going on to item 7E, we would now need to take action to go ahead and direct, or excuse me, to request that we get the local innovation committee appointed in order to look at what we passed in item 7C. So is there a motion regarding the approval to take appropriate action to appoint a local innovation committee to draft a local innovation plan as defined by the 84th legislative session and House Bill 1842 as presented? All right. Second. So we have a motion and a second. I didn't realize you had further presentation. Would you like
Just
to
this
add
last one,
something?
sir, so that you all can appoint that particular committee.
Okay.
We'll begin to look at drafting that proposal and that plan for you all. We come before you to present the members of the District Advisory Committee, which is the DAC. These are members of the District Education Improvement Committee. It's already an established committee. These individuals have been meeting since the start of the school year. And they're comprised of, like I mentioned, members of the DEIC. In addition to that, we have added additional members, individual members who have been here, who represent different teacher organizations such as ATPE,
So is this in
TCTA.
addition to what we were presented last time? You've
Yes.
changed the list?
I have changed the list. Not the individual teachers, no, sir. I did make some recommendations, some changes to some administrators.
Okay.
What is the percentage of administrators to teachers?
22 administrators, ma'am, 20 administrators, 23 to 47, almost half.
23 to 47. Majority wins. Majority vote wins.
Yes, ma'am.
There's no
Actually, what we looked at, we're going to stick with the 2/3. Mr. Santos did ask me.
So it's 2/3.
Yes, ma'am.
So technically,
The statute just says majority, but because that was an error on my part, we're going to go ahead and do the 2/3. And just to clarify, I know Ms. Herrera had mentioned that the concern is that the committee would have to raise their hand and vote in front of the individuals who supervise them. There are only 3 campus administrators on this committee. We took into consideration, after hearing from the teacher organizations, that we would have a ballot for these individuals. So they will not raise their hand.
Intimidation factor is
Yes,
gone.
ma'am. And we will take each item. Item number 1, do you vote? Item number 2, if we are going to proceed in that direction, and we are taking each item on an individual basis.
So technically, the teachers are pretty much the two-thirds,
Yes, ma'am.
and their vote is confidential and private. Intimidation is not there. That
Correct.
factor is no longer there.
Yes, ma'am. We're taking those proactive measures as suggested by the members of the committee.
Could you tell us who you've added?
I actually just made some changes. I did ask, I added the 3 principals, Mr. Aleman at the high school level, he was already there, Ms. Rebecca Morales, who represents the middle school level, and Ms. Dr. Mirta Villarreal from Colonel Santos. We had made some changes in the administrative components. We did add Ms. Annette Perez, Mr. Joe Almazan, who is Director of Admissions, oversees attendance, Ms. Perez, because of the behavior coordinators as well. And then we made some changes in the student assessment. We removed Ms. Casanova and added Ms. Marisela Quintanilla. And in Director of Grants Administration, we added Ms. Edie Landick.
But in regards to these groups that are here before us, were any of their members added?
Yes, ma'am. We have, at United High School, we have Ms. Alejandra Leitner and Mr. David Perez. We have Beverly Herrera on the committee. And I believe there was one more individual who was added. I believe that was it, ma'am.
Okay.
I don't remember any. I believe that was it. Those 3 high school members representing each different entity.
And once again, for the public, if we were to approve this next item, it is simply to give us a chance. That's it. I mean, everything can be shot down in committee and we can go nowhere. That is correct. Is that correct, Mr. Cruz?
Yes, correct.
That is correct. The committee could choose to shoot down all 5 items and nothing happens.
Correct.
Correct, yes.
January 5th will be our only meeting. We are pulling these individual teachers off the campuses. We start the committee meetings at 1:30 on January 5th. We will meet 3 times if as per the timeline. But you're right, we may just have 1 meeting on January 5th.
And that may kill it.
And the plan has to be posted on the district website for 30 days, so anybody from the public can conceivably go and review it.
Correct.
And
Is it
offer
gonna be a plan?
comments.
Well, I feel comfortable putting it on the table for the committee to decide.
Very good, very good. Did you have anything else to add?
No, sir, I think that would be it. Thank you for your time and attention.
So,
We have a motion
what
and
we would
second.
need is,
Call for the vote.
is there any further discussion on
Can I
this?
show?
We need to go ahead and take a vote then. All those in favor of appointing the committee? All right, the item passes unanimously. Moving on to
Mr.
item.
Gilpin, they're asking if we show the resolution?
Yeah, we
And
can-
I'm sorry, I need to excuse myself. I have to go somewhere and maybe I felt like a little rushed. I
Good,
have to
that's
excuse
okay,
myself.
that's
I already
good.
cast my vote.
Yeah, they voted in the resolution.
Yeah,
Go
the
ahead.
resolution includes the language that you
Thank you.
proposed.
The resolution was approved.
That item had already passed. That was item 7, that was item 7C. That included the resolution associated with initiating the process. Item 7F.
That's basically just the recommendation is to approve the annual report regarding the board members' continuing education, which is found on page 91 through 98 of the board packet.
All right. Very good. Is there a motion to approve? And second? Any discussion? All those in favor? The item passes unanimously. Item 8 will be closed session. The board will adjourn into closed session, and we should be back in maybe an hour. The time is now 9:18 p.m. and we are reconvened from executive session. And
The recommendation on agenda item 9A from the administration is to post the term contract termination of Melissa Lerma for the reasons discussed in closed session and authorize the superintendent to send notice of the same.
a motion? Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? All right, the item passes unanimously. Anything, was there any other items we needed to
No,
cover? Mr.
that's it.
Cruz?
No.
Okay. With that, we'll go on to agenda item number 10, adjournment.
So move. Second.
All righty, we are adjourned.